It's 10 o'clock and it's time for the council to be in session. We have one member present. We need 9 more for a quorum. We have Mr. Burnson, Mrs. Chick, Mr. Fuhr, Mr. Wax. We have 5 members present. We do have some presentations, so we're going to start the presentation. Mrs. Chick, I'm going to call on you first. Let me point out that this will be a meeting of the City Council on the 17th day of April 1998. There are 15 council districts in the city. The regular meeting days are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We are currently being viewed by cable subscribers throughout the Los Angeles area on Channel 35, and we're also being monitored by council phone. So, Laura Chick, I'll call on you first for presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great pleasure today to be here to put the spotlight on some very special volunteers. And I know there's quite a few, but maybe we'd have you come up and join me and surround me around the podium. All of the people who have been involved in the police civilian martial artist advisory panel. And I don't want to worry my president, but we're not going to hand out individual certificates for everybody here. And this is such a unique and special program that I am going to read some of the information about it. There has been a 19% reduction in injuries to people arrested by the Los Angeles police officers in the first 2 years since the new arrest and control curriculum was implemented. There has been a 13% reduction in personnel complaints against Los Angeles police officers for excessive force since this new curriculum was implemented. There has been a 24% reduction in uses of force by Los Angeles police officers in conjunction with arrests since this new curriculum has been adopted. Over 2,300 new recruit officers and 6,200 veteran officers have completed 40 hours of training in this new curriculum just since January 1996. Over 200 academy instructors from other law enforcement agencies across the country have completed the 80-hour new arrest and control instructor course, including the elite United States Navy SEALs. This new arrest and control curriculum has received so much national attention from the law enforcement profession that it was written up in the September 1st, 1997 issue of Time magazine. This curriculum was the first application of the community police problem-solving model to a police training need, in that members of the martial arts community, the medical community, and the legal community collaborated with the LAPD training officers to create this new curriculum, which came to be called, you know how we have acronyms for everything, CMAP, standing for Civilian Martial Arts Advisory Panel. Membership in this panel required donation of countless hours spent on wrestling mats over a 4-year period. Many of these volunteers own their own schools that were in direct competition with each other, and yet they put aside this competitive spirit to work in cooperation and to create the LAPD arrest and control curriculum. These volunteers endured physical fatigue and risk of injury for several years with no compensation to meet every 6 to 8 weeks with the team, and the meetings lasted an average of 3 hours each. These volunteers unselfishly donated countless hours to build this first custom-tailored physical restraint system for police officers that minimizes risk of injury, reduces complaints from citizens, and reduces very expensive fiscal liability for the city and the city's taxpayers. I want to say on behalf of the City Council and the people of Los Angeles, a heartfelt thank you. And because these people have worked so tirelessly and really created something so wonderful, while I'm not going to give you all your certificates while we're here, I do want to read everyone's names. Mike Belzer, Dr. Dan Sovetki, Kenneth Penland, Farbarors Azak, George Kirby, Ken Hart, Rick Manos, Richard Bustillo, Regan Mikado, Jean-Jacques Mikado, Keith Strouder, Harvey Curlin, Benny Urquidez, Hayward Nishioka, Rory and Gracie, Jean LaBelle, Al Thomas, Mark Forte, Gokor Chivichian, Larry Kungaika, David Feldman, Cliff Stewart, Mildred Olin, Darren Levine, Dr. Robert Ozeran, Dr. Larry Vigili, no, I knew I was going to miss one, Vigilia, Dr. Joe Verna, Dr. Mark Boddicker, Dr. Clive Segel, Dr. Tom Khalili, Dr. Todd Moldower, and Dr. Mark Hyman. Thank you very, very much, and this is something that's going to continue to help the city, the police department, and our citizens for years to come. Congratulations. Do you want to say something? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs. Chick, and thank all those wonderful people. Mr. Bernson for a presentation.
I'll give you that. Mr. President, members of the council, it's my pleasure today to recognize the efforts of an individual and also a department and members of that department who worked so hard on solving one of the major catastrophes that we had in the West Hills area due to El Nino, where we lost, I believe, about 5 homes had to be red tagged, and a lot of the homes, several homes in the area were saved because of the efforts of this individual and the Building and Safety Department and the employees who worked so hard to try to rectify that situation. First, I'm going to recognize David Keim. David, come on up here. In the early morning hours of February 13th, 1998, David Keim was dispatched to saturated hills in a residential area of Canoga Park that had suddenly slipped away. Whereas, because of his training and experience, Mr. Keim was able to assess the situation, determine the slippage had severely damaged 2 homes and posed immediate danger to 3 others. Without hesitation, Dave set in motion the forces that would ultimately bring the situation under control and eventually stabilize the immediate danger. As the emergency unfolded, Dave discovered that one of the homes had been red tagged, contained business equipment and records, which was vital to the homeowner's financial survival. However, because of the immediate danger of collapse, the fact that the property had already been red tagged, they could not permit the owners to re-enter their home to retrieve business and records. Without regard to his own safety, Dave entered the home, removed a computer and business records, and placed them in the grateful arms of the owners. And as the day wore on, the real scope of the situation revealed itself. Dave continued to coordinate the activities and to call for required resources. On the following days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Saturday being Valentine's Day and Monday being the President's Day holiday, Dave left his family and home to be at the site of the disaster, ensuring that they provide anything that they needed. Because of his professional, brave, and courteous actions, they stabilized the immediate hazard. No person was injured. Additional property damage was kept to the absolute minimum. Now, therefore, be it resolved that by the adoption of this resolution, the Los Angeles City Council, along with Mayor Richard Reardon, highly commend Mr. David Keim for displaying professionalism, way and beyond the call of duty, and in keeping with the spirit of the great employees that we have in the city of Los Angeles. So it's my pleasure, Dave, to recognize your efforts and thank you personally for what you did that day. I know I was there. Just to tell you, I was called on my way back from the hospital when I was having some of my surgery, and they said, you got to go immediately to this area. I got there, Dave and Andrew were there, and they were already had the situation in hand. So you don't appreciate sometimes, you hear people talk about city employees and how they don't care and everything. Let me tell you, the Building and Safety Department, David Keim, and the people who are back here from the Building and Safety Department are testimony to the fact that that is absolutely not correct. We have people who really care about our citizens, who give their time, their effort, and even endanger their lives, such as Dave did, to try to help our citizens. So our gratitude to you, Dave. I have one more here. I'm going to present this to Andrew Edelman. This is for the entire department. I'm not going to read all the whereases because we've been through all that, and I think the personal words which I want to say probably are a little greater than all the whereases. But it's an appreciation to all of you. There are individual certificates which you're all going to get, which will be presented to you separately. But I just want to express my gratitude to the work that you did and the loyalty that you display in serving our city of Los Angeles. Congratulations to you.
Those are facts. Those are facts.
Thank you, Councilmember Burnson. Mr. President, Honorable Council, you heard one heroic story about David Keim. There is many more. Behind me is about 55, 60 individuals, and each one of them have a story to tell somewhat similar to what David Keim has done. And I am proud of each and every one of them, and I thank you for recognizing their outstanding work. Some of them during the emergency worked as many as 30 hours in a row without any stop, 30 hours in one shift. And when I would come back and say, well, it's time for you to go home, they would say, no, just one more thing. Let me do one more inspection. I am proud of them, and thank you for a job well done, each and every one of you.
Mr. President, if I might just say a word before everybody breaks up here. As Andrew knows, as Dave knows, and as many of you who are standing with them know, Mr. Burnson really got it right. Extraordinary group of people, having stood with you in the driving rain and some of those most treacherous areas as hills were slipping and sliding, seeing the absolutely beyond the call of duty, remarkable commitment to the safety of the citizens of the city of Los Angeles at what was, on many occasions, personal peril. It really made one proud to be part of the city of Los Angeles. We need to be able to continue to muster that spirit every day. But on those very special and extraordinary days, you really came through, and I want to personally congratulate you for what was just a super achievement. Thank you.
You should have seen him after the earthquake, too.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Hal, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Burnson. Call the roll. We have a quorum.
Alacon, Alatorre, Burnson, Chick, Fuhrer, Gallanter, Gober, Hernandez, Holden, Miskowski, Ridley Thomas, Saborni, Wax, Walters, Ferraro. 12 council members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Okay, as I pointed out, this is a meeting of the City Council for the City of Los Angeles. The first order of business.
Approval of the minutes.
All right, Mr. Fuhrer moves, Mrs. Chick seconds. There's no objections, unanimous vote. The next item.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
If there are no objections, unanimous vote. Members of the council, today is Volunteer Day, and we have each member of the council has a presentation to someone in their area that has volunteered to do service for the city of Los Angeles, and we'll start with the first district, which is Mike Hernandez. Mike, Karen Wagner, who is responsible for this program, has the resolution up there at the center microphone.
Do you want to say anything on behalf of the mayor? I'd love to say something on behalf of the mayor. We're very, very proud of all of our volunteers. We're thrilled with the support that City Council has given to the Volunteer Bureau, and this is their day, so I'm going to turn it over to the members of council.
Mr. President, members of the council, it's my honor to call up Durand Kennedy, please. It's my honor to recognize Durand Kennedy as the first Councilmanic District's 1998 Outstanding Volunteer. Mr. Kennedy has been a coach in a variety of different sports at Hoover Recreation Center. For 20 years, he's taught the rewards of hard work, sportsmanship, and teamwork, and he's dedicated to the children of the first Councilmanic District. He travels almost 40 miles I guess he's been doing this for how many years now? 20 years, basically to work with young children. And he's someone who a lot of volunteers recognized, especially at the center, as someone who stood the test of time. And so because of your work, we have a certificate of commendation from the City of Los Angeles as the 1998 Outstanding Volunteer for Council District Number 1. In recognition for your outstanding service to the City of Los Angeles, we thank you for your involvement in coaching sports teams at Hoover Recreation Center for the Department of Recreation and Parks, and your commitment to volunteerism to the children who produce positive results in our community. The people of Los Angeles benefit from your efforts, contributions, and enthusiasm, and with the help to further the common goal of making our city a better place in which to live. Congratulations.
Wax of the 2nd District.
No, I had new knee put in.
Mr. President, members of council, I am absolutely delighted to be able to make the presentation to Ben Bosse. He has epitomized, I think, what volunteerism is really all about. He has given 3, 4, 5 days a week sometimes, many hours a day to the Sunland Senior Center for at least 15 years. Some of you who were around here 15 years ago remember when the federal government said all of a sudden we have all this cheese, these 5-pound packages of cheese, tons and tons of it, but you have to take it and get rid of it right away. This man probably unloaded and gave away more than 1,000 tons of cheese, not only to everyone in line, but start delivering it to the people who are sick, to the people who are at home. It was really extraordinary, and he has kept that up in every possible way at the Senior Center ever since. There isn't a program at the center that he has not been involved with. But more importantly to me, it's the attitude. It's never waiting to be asked. It's doing the little things as well as the big things. It's never doing it for the recognition. It's always caring whether it's being received well and looking out after each individual person and seeing if everything is right and everything is okay. And I asked a lot of people about Ben because he had come so highly recommended. They just simply describe him as the man. You know, actually they think of him as Superman, and he is a very humble man and just thinks of himself as a flunky. But I don't buy it one bit. I've watched it when his knee went out, when he had an operation. He comes with his cane. He walks there. He'll be lifting with one hand and the cane in the other. I mean, it's just, and it's constant, and it's not for these certificates. he could have 1,000,000 of these certificates. It's for the reward and the joy of giving. But these certificates, Ben, are our way on behalf of the people that you have served to say thank you for it and to recognize it. And so it's just really an honor for me to be able to present this to you at this time. It comes from the same love and the same caring that you have given to so many people and continue to give just up to this very day in Sunland. And it's my pleasure as your council member to have you down here today and be our Volunteer of the Year for the 2nd District. You're a wonderful, wonderful man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Wax. Mrs. Chick, for your presentation.
Margaret Lee Thomas asked if the second and 6th century cable settlements that they negotiated is always implemented.
You come stand between us, okay? This wonderful gentleman is someone I'm just getting to know. We met on the elevator this morning. Because not all
one
of
of your
the-
best friends.
There. Not all of the volunteers are necessarily from our council district. Some of them have done such wonderful work for the entire city that we didn't just concentrate on people who lived in our district, although I'd love to have you live in the West Valley. Michael Cunningham made a major difference for the city in his work for the Los Angeles Fire Department. And he is responsible for transforming the fire department's food service unit into an all-volunteer program, the Rehab Utility Program. He planned, developed, and implemented this comprehensive program to ensure something very important: the effective distribution of food and beverages to firefighters and paramedics who are on the scene of large-scale emergencies. And unfortunately, in this city, we've seen that happen quite a bit lately. This is the first time that the fire department has used volunteers to staff apparatus, so they really must have a lot of faith and confidence in Mr. Cunningham. And the first time they used volunteers to serve at the scenes of emergencies. Michael Cunningham, who serves as the volunteer coordinator for the Rehab Utility Program, oversees all aspects of the program by ensuring that volunteers are properly trained, response-ready, and aware of fire department operation procedures. We want to thank Mr. Cunningham for his work for the fire department, for the city of Los Angeles, for the people of Los Angeles. We hope we don't have to use these services, but we know in all likelihood we will. And so as a 1998 Outstanding Volunteer Award recipient from the 3rd Council District, I say congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chick. The chair calls upon Council President Ferraro for a special presentation.
Madeline Taft. Members of the council, let me point out that Madeline Taft, for more than 20 years, has committed her time, talent, and energy to the Los Angeles Zoo. Currently, she is chairperson of the zoo's docent program, which has 550 docents. She oversees 31 standing committees and is responsible for ongoing planning, training, and development of the docent program. To ensure the program runs smoothly, Mrs. Taft works a minimum of 30 hours a week, makes herself available 7 days a week. The Los Angeles Zoo staff tributes her to the rock that we can all lean on as we work to ensure this valuable program continues in an upward path. And I'd like to present this to you, Madeline. Thank you for your wonderful work for the City of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Zoo. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Mr. President. The chair recognizes Councilman Fuhrer for a special presentation.
Let's ask Norma Rausch to come forward, please. Hello, Norman. Mr. Ferraro, I will note that we're honoring Norma Rauch for her work in your council district, just so you're clear about this. Yeah, but no, I know that. I'm delighted to recognize Norma. She's really been a pillar of support for the John C. Fremont Branch Library. I recall the rededication of that library, which I attended and spoke to the kids about the very deep significance of reading and about how it really will be the key for these young children to unlocking their futures. Well, this is a lesson that Norma has understood for years and years. Since 1984 now, we're talking about 14 years worth of work, including volunteering for the Grandparents and Books program, helping with children's programs, coordinating fundraising by soliciting business donations for the library, preparing refreshments for special events, and delivering books to homebound residents, as well as editing the newsletter, the Friends newsletter. The slogan is, whenever there's a need at the library, you turn to Norma and she gets it done. And I want to tell you, because of not only the intrinsic value of what you've contributed to that library, but the symbolic significance for all of us here in the city, not only of the intergenerational work that you do with the kids, but of reading as such a paramount value, it's a real pleasure to honor you for your contribution to the city. Congratulations. Thank you so much. There's a photo opportunity in our future here as well. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Fuhrer. The chair recognizes Councilwoman Galanter.
She's coming up, Masako Oshita, right here.
Mr. President and members, it's my very great honor to recognize today Ms. Masako Oshita, who has spent an enormous amount of unsolicited time and energy serving as a greeter and an assistant to people who arrive in Los Angeles at the airport. She's been there for 12 years as a volunteer with Travelers Aid, and for all of you who've traveled to a country that you're not familiar with, you know that every airport, even ours, which is pretty comprehensive and easy to understand, every airport is a nightmare, especially if you're coming to a country where the language is not your native language and you're just trying to get yourself and your baggage and your kids and everybody to where you're going. Ms. Oshita, having served there for 12 years, is now in the very important role of overseeing volunteers at 9 terminal booths throughout the airport. She trains the new volunteers, she helps with fundraising projects, she collects statistics on the volunteers, and she distributes information and resources to these 9 different booths. This is the kind of thing that is really important, because we all talk about how unnerving it can be to arrive at the airport and get panhandled as your first venture in Los Angeles. This is the antidote. Ms. Oshita and her volunteers are the people who make it nice to come to Los Angeles. She's been praised by the other volunteers as dedicated, thoughtful, and really willing to go out of her way. And actually, you have only to look at her and watch her smile to know that if you got stuck in an airport, this is the lady you would want to see to help you figure out where to go. So it is my very great honor to recognize Ms. Oshita for your commitment to volunteerism, and keep up the good work. We need all the help we can get.
Thank you very much.
Smile at these guys. Smile at him.
Thank you very much.
Say anything?
Thank you very much for this honor.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Councilman Alarcon.
I'm very pleased to recognize a very special volunteer in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. Raymond Pacheco, Coach Pacheco, is a volunteer out of David Gonzalez Recreation Center in the heart of Pacoima. For 20 years, Mr. Pacheco has been a volunteer baseball coach at the David M. Gonzalez Recreation Center in Pacoima. With no children of his own, Mr. Pacheco is a father figure for many children who participate in the baseball program. He coaches 3 to 4 teams at the same time. He also spends time recruiting youth at risk and involving them in the baseball program. Mr. Pacheco has been described as a man who has never asked for anything and has given everything of himself. I want to personally share with you that I played for many years at David Gonzalez Park. I played hardball long beyond my childhood years. In fact, I played hardball until I was 27. And, you know, my wife finally got me to grow up. And there are many times when I'm sitting here in City Council wondering if I could go back out there and play baseball. And I know all of you have your dreams. That would have been mine. But I want to share with you that it's a very special park. Coach Dixon, the recreational director, works so hard to find people like Raymond and to continue to grow services at that particular recreation center. Well, a lot of people have been directed into positive activity because they've played baseball at parks, not just at David M. Gonzalez Park, but at other parks throughout the region. It's very important that we find people who take the time and volunteer. It's not just about volunteering, it's about really nurturing positivity in lives that have so much negativity. And so, Raymond, I'm very pleased to present this Outstanding Volunteer Award for 1998 to you, because not only are you giving of your time, but you're creating many dreams for a lot of kids out there, not just dreams of playing baseball, but dreams of being successful. And so we really salute you for your 20 years of service in this particular manner. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Alarcon. The chair recognizes Councilman Ridley Thomas for a special presentation.
Mr. President, members of the council, I'm pleased to invite to the podium Ms. Carol Hawkins. Mr. President, members, Ms. Hawkins has been a vital asset to the Southwest Area Community Police Station for 17 years. Holding a full-time teaching position and another part-time position, Ms. Hawkins can still find time to volunteer as an Explorer advisor. She offers her leadership, friendship, and enthusiasm to all the youth in the program. Ms. Hawkins' responsibilities include counseling participants, escorting them to events and field trips, providing classroom instruction on police techniques and procedures, providing supervision at all details and activities, and maintaining participants' profiles, personnel files, and all those things that help them to grow and aspire to the positions of law enforcement and other fields in which they may wish to become involved. It's with a considerable degree of pleasure that I give to you this extraordinary volunteer, Ms. Carol Hawkins. Scoot over just a little bit, away from the podium.
Thank you, Councilman Ridley Thomas. The chair recognizes Councilman Walters for special presentation.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure today to recognize the awardee for the 9th Council District, Bernadette Nishimura. She's great. This is a terrific lady here, and one that certainly deserves this award. She is so active in the senior community and does such outstanding things for Little Tokyo. We're delighted to present this to her. She's been a member of the Council on Aging since 1981, serving as its treasurer. As a member of the legislature and advocacy committee, she's been a strong advocate for the senior issues both locally and nationally. Ms. Nishimura works on various projects for the Council on Aging and is always the first to volunteer to help. Ms. Nishimura is also very active with the Japanese Community Pioneer Social Services Center on housing issues for seniors. And we could just go on, but council members, I want you to know this is a truly deserving lady.
Thank you
and
very
she's an
much.
outstanding woman. We're just pleased to have her here today. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walters. The chair recognizes Councilman Holden for a presentation.
Pretty good, huh? Mr. President, this is truly a delight to give a certificate of commendation to a citizen who's been volunteering for more than 20 years in the library, at the Baldwin Hills Library. Sylvia Joel. How are you? Wonderful. And the supervisor over there is Laura Dawn. Would you stand and raise your hand so we can see who you are, Laura? All right, we'll take a picture with you a little later. Give her a hand also because she keeps things moving. The two of them in and out of the library. Books coming in and books going out, and what's left on the outside in the heads of those kids is knowledge, all because of you. And so her volunteer involvement includes serving on the board of the Friends of the Library, managing volunteers of the Read, Write Now program, working at the curriculum desk, checking in and out of books, and doing reference work when librarians were busy. You're a librarian. We got to pay you. Before completely recovering from surgery from a broken, even a broken pelvis couldn't keep you down. They put that here, you know. Ms. Joel returned to her volunteer with a walker, then a cane, and now she's standing tall, upright, like a real soldier. Ms. Joel is described as the person that the library staff always call when there is a special project that needs to be done right away, like right now. All right, yesterday, okay. The library staff added that she can always be counted on and is always a joy to have around. And I can see that right now. You are a special joy, a special person. You've done so much for all of us, and we want to thank you. In fact, we can't thank you enough. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Holden. Members of council, Councilwoman Miskowski is on jury duty this morning. So Councilwoman Chick will make the presentation on behalf of Councilwoman Miskowski.
Well, it's a pleasure to stand in for my colleague, and I'd like to ask Bob McElroy to join us. And I think it makes sense that I get to present this on behalf of Councilmember Miskowski because Bob McElroy is a volunteer at a place that really is right on the boundary of Council District 11 and Council District 3, and that's at the Japanese Gardens at the Tillman Reclamation Plant. Since 1990, Bob has been a volunteer with the Japanese Garden. He's the chair of the docent program, and he serves on a variety of subcommittees, and he's also a member of the Japanese Gardens Advisory Committee. He noticed something was missing, and I think that's actually hard to note because the gardens are so beautiful and give pleasure to so many people. But what he noticed was that there was a gift shop that was missing. And he had this idea that there are people who come there who would like to buy things, who want to walk away with a souvenir or memento or a plant. And so he researched and purchased items for sale, the display cases, all the equipment. He went out to recruit more volunteers to staff the shop. He trained the volunteers in marketing and sales to make sure it would be successful. And the entire staff of the Japanese Garden praises McElroy for making the gift shop another shining jewel in the Japanese Garden. And we say thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. A beautiful place. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Schick. The chair recognizes Councilman Bernson for a special presentation. And Councilman Bernson, since Councilman Alatorre is not here today, could you also present his honoree, and maybe perhaps we'll do the two at the same time because it'll be easier.
Could I have Nancy Wansek please come to the podium? Hi, Nancy. How are you? Fine. Good seeing you. Yes, members of the council, it's my great pleasure to recognize Nancy Wansek from the Northridge Branch Library. Nancy's been a volunteer with the Grandparents and Books program since 1993. She also teaches clay modeling of illustrations from children's books, a class Wansek designed for older children who are too old to read through the Grandparents and Books program. Children are encouraged to pick their favorite illustrations from the book they have read. The program has been an instant success, and children of all ages and their parents come from all over the San Fernando Valley, not just from Northridge, to attend these workshops. Ms. Wansek has been financing the program with her own salary, members of the council. Are you listening to that? She's been financing it with her own salary from teaching classes at craft stores. And as one Northridge Branch Library staff member said, she's almost like a saint. Well, I don't know if it's almost. I think she is a saint. Anybody that's willing to put that kind of time and effort into young people. It's fun. And, you know, one of the great combinations that we've discovered for both elderly people, grandparents and so forth, us old folks, and I include myself in that, is an association with children. It really works great for everybody. And this is a great program, and I want to take pleasure in presenting this to you, Nancy, and thank you for your efforts on that. Appreciate it, okay? You got,
I didn't think I'd have that.
can I have Arturo Chasco?
Want to get her in the middle, Nancy?
Okay. Okay, right here, right here.
Right here.
Right here, okay? Can I have Arturo Chasco please come to the podium? Arturo, how are you? You know, it's a pleasure for me to stand in for Mr. Alatorre today. Unfortunately, he's still recovering from surgery. But I think it's very appropriate because I probably lived in Boyle Heights long before Mr. Alatorre knew there was a Boyle Heights. As a matter of fact, I can remember some of my early days at the old First Street Library at First in Chicago, over in across from Hollenbeck Precinct. At the age of 18, Arturo Chasco, did I pronounce that correctly, Arturo? Became a volunteer. 30 years later, Mr. Chasco is still lending his time and efforts as a volunteer at the Evergreen Recreation Center. He teaches his players that teamwork, self-worth, and to have a never-quit attitude. When parents cannot pay the registration or equipment fees, Mr. Chasko pays for them. Again, we have another volunteer, members of the council, that are actually financing some of the programs and things that they do for the benefit of our city. What he does makes up for what many people do not do. The world needs more people like Art Chasko, who gives and will always be giving 110% of himself to help others. Arthur, on behalf of Mr. Alatorre and of the City Council and myself, I want to recognize your efforts. Thank you for what you've been doing. Just keep doing it. Okay? Thank you. Hang on to this, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Bernson, for both the presentations. The chair recognizes Councilwoman Goldberg for a special presentation.
Good morning. How are you? Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is my good pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Ron Navarrete, who's the Outstanding Volunteer Awardee for the Council District 13. I did some calculations. He has put in 18,000 hours. And I was trying to figure out what that was. Well, that's the equivalent of 9 years of full-time employment as a volunteer with Recreation and Parks, in several parks really, but the one he's been really involved in tremendously lately has been the park Chevy Chase Recreation Center. We only have a single director there, hint, hint, hint. Without Ron, we really wouldn't have had a basketball league this year. He started coaching, I won't say how many years ago, but considerable number of years ago when his children were little. They grew up, he just never stopped coaching. But he does more than just coach 1 or 2 teams. Usually it's about 2 to 4 teams a season. Plus, he organized the basketball league in its entirety by calling the kids and letting them know that we were getting started again. Ron is a very special man. He not only helps kids learn how to play successful basketball with his techniques and strategies, but more than that, he is a positive role model for young boys and young girls in our community. His knowledge and experience are a valuable resource to our recreation program. He doesn't just do coaching, he also works on Halloween events and Christmas events and Easter egg hunts and fundraisers for the park. He probably puts in about 10 to 12 hours a week, is the way we figure it. And they tell me that all in all over the years, about 18,000 volunteer hours. So you can see why we had very little difficulty picking a gentleman who teaches sportsmanship and fair play, who helps young people understand that the game of life is the real game, and the basketball game is where you can pick up valuable skills for the game of life. And so, Mr. Navarrete, let me thank you on behalf of the Recreation Center, but most importantly on behalf of the community in CD13, which has enjoyed your support and your help all of these years. And we want to, once again, I want to keep shaking your hand because I'm very proud that I represent gentlemen like this man who make a difference in our community.
Thank you very much.
I had to do the calculation. I don't know how much 18,000 hours was. Let's take a picture together. Let's put him in the middle. You're right.
All right, gee, I'm getting...
Let's put that up here. I'm going to take that off so it'll look better. Up. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to put that back on. So you know who you are.
don't want to get lost.
There you go.
Thank you, Ms. Goldberg. The chair recognizes Councilman Savornich for a special presentation.
Ella?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. It is indeed a pleasure this morning to honor the outstanding volunteer for the 15th Council District, Ella Hine. Ella began her volunteer career as a touring docent at the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium in 1986. She has been the docent training chair and membership chair. She has served as the volunteer steering committee president, overseeing the management of 500 community volunteers from 1992 to 1997. In 1997, Ella was selected by her peers at the aquarium as the Volunteer of the Year. Currently, she is serving as a docent in the Jellyfish Research Lab and is involved in the Grand Grunion Gala. Ella has always been there for the aquarium, in the background or the forefront, helping in the most pleasant way. And Mr. President, members of the council, a lot of times we think we do have tremendous treasures in the city of Los Angeles, which we indeed do. One of the most fantastic treasures in the city of Los Angeles' inventory is the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium. Yes, they do deserve a round of applause. They do a terrific job. For both young and old alike, to walk through the aquarium, to see the touch tank, to look at the new kelp display, to take a look at the simulated wave display and the jellyfish lab. Do you know we grow our own jellyfish in Los Angeles, and that's at the aquarium? And so Jackie says she's very aware of that. And so, Mr. President, members of the council, it is indeed a pleasure to honor Ella this morning as the outstanding volunteer for the 15th Council District and to thank her for her love of the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium for many, many hours of making our city and our community a better place to live and to work. Congratulations, Ella.
Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Members of council, in addition to the 15 council district volunteers, we have 2 additional special volunteer awards, the Unsung Hero and the Outstanding Youth Award. And I'm going to ask Council President Ferraro to present the award to the Unsung Hero, and then Councilman Hernandez to present the Outstanding Youth Award.
Michael Spence, would you please come forward? Members of the council, let me just point out what Michael Spence does. He works for the Los Angeles Department of Animal Services. Since 1994, he has worked for the department in the volunteer program office. He's answered phones, picked up voice messages, input data, coordinates mailing, and assists the weekly programs, scheduling calls for more than 100 volunteers. Often, Mr. Spence arrives early and stays late, always completing what he was there to do. He is described as having a glowing personality. Yeah, he does. Glowing personality, is always a team player, and is ever so eager a spirit to help. Spence is not only willing to pick up the pieces to meet deadlines, but he also makes our staff laugh and relieves the stress because he has a glowing personality. Michael, I want to present this on behalf of the city of Los Angeles. And thank you very much. Michael, oh no. The glowing personality doesn't want to talk. He'd be very popular in this council chamber.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
Mr. President, members of the council, it's my honor to recognize as the outstanding youth, Mr. Danny Gomez, and he works out of the Boyle Heights Sports Center. What you need to know is Danny's 19 years old, and he's volunteered at the Boyle Heights Sports Center for 8 years. That's about 40% of his lifetime. And the reality is he lives across the street from the center, and he makes the center his second home. He averages about 15 hours a week. He coaches basketball, baseball, football. He transports players to and from their games. He's planned special tournaments like t-ball and football, etc. And he assists with all kinds of special events at the center. He's currently organizing a community effort to raise funds for a new gymnasium at the center. He writes, "I have pride in my community. My dream is for someday to help a kid go to the major leagues. I enjoy teaching the skills to children on all sports. It keeps me young and active and keeps me from getting involved out on the streets." And I think that's an excellent comment to be made by such a young person. And his efforts are displayed not only in his comments, but in his efforts to help young people. So again, Danny, thank you for your work. And this is a certificate of commendation, not only from this city council. You need to know it's signed by the council president, as well as the mayor of the city of Los Angeles, Richard Reardon. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez, and congratulations again to all of the awardees. You really make this city very, very proud, and we're proud to have you here today. The chair recognizes Councilman Walters for a special presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 3 presentations here this morning. The first is to Victims' Rights Week in honor of that, and we're presenting this to the City Attorney's Office. So if the City Attorney's Office is present. Mr. City Attorney? All right. It is with great pleasure that I present this resolution to the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office for its successful Victims Assistance Program. This unique program provides much-needed services to victims and witnesses of crime throughout the city of Los Angeles. I was promoting you to Attorney General here. Crime victims and witnesses are sometimes overlooked by the criminal justice system in its efforts to apprehend and prosecute criminal offenders. The fair administration of justice requires that citizens and public servants recognize and assert the rights of crime victims, among which are the right to state compensation for personal injuries, the right to restitution from offenders, the right to fair and courteous treatment by criminal justice officers, the right as a witness to receive timely information about the progress of the criminal case in which they may be called to testify. During the past year, the Los Angeles City Attorney's Victim Assistance Program has provided information and assistance to more than 13,922 new crime victims, and 2,339 have submitted state victim compensation claims valued at over $6 million. We commend the City Attorney Victim Assistance Program, and in recognition of the importance of this program, declare the week of April 19 through 26 as Victims' Rights Week throughout the city of Los Angeles. So please join me, colleagues, in commending the Los Angeles City Attorney, James K. Hahn, and Alex Vargas, the Executive Director of the Victim Assistance Program. Mr. Hahn, you may have some quick remarks to make.
Thank you, Councilman Walters, Council President Ferraro, members of the council, members of the audience. The Victim Assistance Program of the City Attorney's Office is there to help people sometimes at the worst time in their life when they've been a victim of a crime. And these dedicated individuals, day in and day out, are helping people, some of them who've been victims of losing a loved one to homicide, who've been victims themselves of an aggravated assault or a robbery, who've been injured, who need help, who need someone who's going to be their friend at this terrible time of their lives. And the Victim Assistance Program does that. We have, I would like the employees of the City Attorney's Office Victim Assistance Program to stand. We could recognize all of them. In addition, we're having a ceremony later in my office to honor the volunteers who help the paid employees of the City Attorney's Victim Assistance Program. I'd like the volunteers who we're going to honor later, if you're here, to stand as well. Do we have the volunteers from all over the city? Especially, we're grateful for volunteers who are helping T.C. Kim in our office in the Special Emphasis Program for Korean American victims. We have a special emphasis program there that has helped over 8,000 Korean American victims of crime since we started that program. And thank you, Councilmember Walters, for recognizing the Victim Assistance Program at Victim Rights Week.
Okay. It's our pleasure. Thank you. And now, council members, I want, with mixed feelings, to congratulate two of LAPD's finest, and that's Captain Jim Tatro and Captain Thomas Mayweather. We want to congratulate them on their recent promotions. Both of these officers were stationed at Newton Division in the 9th Council District, and both have done an outstanding job in serving the residents, and we're surely going to miss them. Let me do Captain Mayweather first, and then I'm going to do Captain Jim. Captain Mayweather came to us about a year ago?
Year and a half.
About a year and a half ago at Newton. But he began his career in law enforcement in August 1974. He is a 23-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department, having worked on various assignments, but enjoying that of a gang investigator the most. Is that right? He has been assigned to Newton Operations Support Division. Maybe we'll wait just a minute until the people can all leave the chamber. Okay, that's a little better. He has been assigned to the Newton Operations Support Division as its commanding officer since November '97. Captain Mayweather's previous assignments include Newton Patrol Commanding Officer and 77th Street Detective Division Commanding Officer. During his 23 years of service, Captain Mayweather has worked on a variety of assignments, including Harbor Division, Narcotics Division, 77th Street Division, Wilshire Division, Crash, West LA Division, Pacific Division, West Valley, and Newton. He has been a supervisor for more than 18 years. While assigned at Newton, Captain Mayweather was proactive and followed through on constituent questions and complaints. He worked closely with my staff on police misconduct cases and assisted on matters of police procedures. Captain Mayweather has a master's degree in public information, a master's degree in public administration. Our new chambers haven't affected our decorum at all. He has a master's degree in public administration from Pepperdine and a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice Administration from Cal State. He also completed training at the prestigious Federal Bureau of Investigation Academy. Captain Mayweather is the father of two lovely daughters, and on behalf of the entire 9th District, we surely wish you well on your new position, but let it be known that we're going to miss you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
We appreciate your service. Okay. Here, you want to... Captain Tatro together. And now Captain Tatro. This is really the hardest one to do. Captain Tatro has been at Newton almost as long as I've been here in the council. And he's just been such an outstanding man first, human being, and then just a superlative LAPD officer. And I've come to know him and to really admire him and in his administration of his duties. Captain Tatro's impressive career in law enforcement began in July 1970 when he graduated at the top of his class. He is a 28-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department, assigned during that time to various geographic areas throughout the city. These areas include Central, Hollenbeck, Rampart, 77th Street Vice, Internal Affairs Division, Training Division, and Operations South Bureau. Captain Tatro was appointed as the Newton Area Commanding Officer in July 1992. During his tenure at Newton, he provided oversight for such innovative programs as the 459 Detail, the Illegal Dumping Task Force, and the Hooper Block Project. He worked extremely well with all segments of the community, from block clubs to business groups to the clergy council. He was a member in regular attendance at our redevelopment area PAC meetings and many other meetings and events within the 9th District, such as the Central Avenue Jazz Festival. And he worked extremely hard each of the festival years to ensure that security was appropriate but not intrusive. Under Captain Tatro's leadership, the Newton area developed a reputation as one of the most productive divisions within the city, with the very best service call response time, one of the highest officer-initiated activity rates, and the fewest number of personnel complaints. I'd say that's pretty good. Okay. Newton area boasts of having one of the longest waiting lists for officers wishing to transfer to that division, and I am convinced that this is largely due to Captain Jim Tatro's outstanding leadership. Captain Tatro is married to Lieutenant Tammy Tatro from the Hollywood area. He has 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters, and one of his daughters is right here, you've seen. But his sons are also in law enforcement. Jim Jr. is a deputy with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and Scott is an officer with the Mesa Police Department in Arizona. His sister, Terry Tatro, is a sergeant at 77th Street Division. And Captain Tatro, I just want you to know, on behalf of the 9th Council District, we do wish you well on your new position as commanding officer of the Robbery Homicide Division. And we do want you to know I'm going to miss you. And council members, I want you to know that I have found Jim Tatro personally to be a man of integrity and sensitivity, in addition to his outstanding accomplishments with LAPD. Captain Tatro. We're going to ask his family, these 2 lovely daughters and your wife, mother, sisters, all to come forward and stand with Jim today.
Push the gray button on top. Okay. Right there. Thank you.
I'll miss you.
Thank you, Councilwoman, very much. Nice words.
My mom married.
It's all true. It's all true. My pride and pain.
Thanks.
Glad to see you.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Thanks, David.
Mrs. Walters, thank you very much. Members, before I call on Mike Hernandez for a presentation, let me point out that this last week the LA Times won 2 Pulitzer Prizes, which is a very commendable thing. We congratulate them. But one of them was for Spot News category for comprehensive coverage of a botched bank robbery and subsequent police shootout in North Hollywood last spring. We're proud to note that 2 of the reporters that work City Hall now were involved with that, Beth Schuster and Jill Leovey, who were prominent members of the Times team that handled that coverage, and we want to congratulate them. And I don't know if that coverage was that worse than covering the City Council. Anyway, congratulations, Jill and Beth. Also, where's Jody. Is Jody still here? Jody Willigren, who used to cover City Hall, now has moved into the big time covering the White House, which could be dangerous at times. Yeah. She's talking to the White House, but she's here. And we all want to. Also, did anybody lose any glasses near where Ruth Galanter is? Any glasses? Anyway, Mr. Hernandez for a presentation.
What's the procedure?
20.
Mr. President, members of the council, it's my pleasure to call up some of the folks from the Los Angeles Dodgers team. If they could all come up, please. Present with me is Monica Brandon, that many of you know as the Community Affairs Director for the Dodgers. Lisa Sarno, who's also a Community Affairs Manager, and we know Lisa because she used to work for Jackie Goldberg's office. But also with me is just a quick little story is when I was a manager with a phone company, I had aspirations of being a baseball player. The reality is they told me that you had to have a strong third baseman. And with us today, and who was playing third base for the Dodgers at the time, is the Marketing for Community Affairs Department, Mr. Ron Say. And I just wanted to recognize him. And what we're doing is we're honoring the Dodgers as an organization. We are declaring the month of April Los Angeles Dodgers Month. And what we need to know is in 1998, that marks 40 years, the anniversary of the Dodgers being part of our city. The Dodgers have become an integral part of baseball in Los Angeles, not only as a professional team, but also in our recreation centers. You can't go to a single recreation center in Los Angeles without a Dodger team there. The reality is they do baseball camps at our rec centers, and they've been very much a part of our community. We also know that Angelenos basically support the Dodgers, and they know that the 1998 Dodgers will be a pennant contender because they're combining seasoned veterans with skilled rookies with a wealth of talented pitchers. Whereas off the playing field, the Dodgers organization and individual players provide continued support through the community with an aggressive outreach program. And whereas it's appropriate that the city acknowledge the 40th anniversary of Los Angeles Dodgers in Los Angeles as a show of support for the Dodgers and a positive impact it has on our community, we as a council are declaring or adopting this resolution that the City of Los Angeles hereby declares April 1998 as Los Angeles Dodgers Month. And the individual who's going to receive this on behalf of the Dodgers is someone I have to say a few words about. Anybody remember the 1965 World Series? Sweet Lou Johnson, if you please come up. I was 12 years old. I remember listening to that game. And it was in the 7th game when Sweet Lou Johnson hit that game-winning home run. That made a difference for Los Angeles. It made a difference for the National League, and it declared the Dodgers the world champions. What you need to know is he started his baseball career with the Dodgers a little bit late. He came to the Dodger organization from Lexington, Kentucky in his early 30s. And basically he was here to fill the position of an injured slugger, Tommy Davis, in the 1965 season. And he took advantage of that opportunity by driving in 58 runs that season, including 2 home runs during the World Series. The following year, Johnson played for Los Angeles, batting .272 and driving in an additional 73 runs. The Dodgers know that Lou Johnson was a warm and energetic person, and he's very much a part of the Los Angeles Dodgers Community Affairs Department, and he served there since 1981. He has served on the board of directors of the Baseball Assistance Team, which provides assistance to former players in need and has been very active in numerous programs promoting drug and alcohol awareness. I want to recognize the Dodgers for their involvement in the community. I want to recognize Lou Johnson for his involvement. And I'm real proud to say the Dodgers are part of Los Angeles, and I'm real proud of their community outreach programs that are going on now. Thank you very much.
told me to get in the middle, so I won't get cut off. On behalf of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we do accept this award with great humility and appreciation. And I hope that we come back in the next 40 years. I won't be here, but I'll send my grandson. Thank you again.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Hernandez, and congratulations to the Dodgers and to Los Angeles. Ms. Galanter for a presentation.
Well, it's still Friday and it's still morning. Mr. President and members, it's my honor today to present to you Mr. Paul Relis, who has spent the last 7 or 8 years as a member of the State of California Integrated Solid Waste Management Board. And for those of you who are used to me bothering you about recycling, I learned it all from him. We do this stuff together. Mr. Relis has seen the board through, you must have been one of the original members, right? Or pretty close. He's been a member of the board during all of the time that the state of California has been working so hard to reduce the amount of waste that we throw into landfills, and we're doing very well as a state. We could do a little better here in the council chamber, but we're getting there. He's also been especially important to the city of Los Angeles because one of the things he has done with us is to assist in establishing our recycling market development zone, and a number of you, of course, have been involved in trying to help companies that will not only recycle things, but will recycle them by using them to make something else, get the business loans that they need and locate here in the city. Paul has also been very involved in stimulating research on green waste, the yard waste composting that has helped is actually doing very well in California. Everything grows, as you know. Even if you forget to water it, it grows anyway. And so there's a lot of yard waste on hand. The research that Mr. Relis promoted and directed has resulted in the development of a statewide strategy to divert green waste through composting. And on that, by the way, we are doing extremely well here in the city. He's also been helpful in providing, through the agency, in providing research grants to a UCLA program that I hope all of you are familiar with. And that has generated a trained group of graduates who are now all involved in resource conservation in one way or another. So all in all, when you grouse at me, remember it's his fault. And he is now retiring from the board in order to become more involved and spend more of his time in the hands-on work of making sure that we continue to develop innovative ways to recycle things, and that we, even while we're doing that, that we actually practice the ways we already have. So it is my great pleasure to join with Lillian Kawasaki, the head of our Environmental Affairs Department, in recognizing Paul Relis for his work on behalf of all of the residents of California, and to thank him for that work, and to let him know that we fully expect to continue working with him and to take full advantage of whatever ideas and programs he can come up with. Lillian, do you want to say something? It's all yours, Paul.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Ruth. Yes, I'll be brief. Thank you, Councilwoman Galanter and Lillian Kawasaki. I wanted to just thank the council and the city of LA for being so cooperative with the state when I was there in achieving your diversion objectives. Los Angeles was a consistent leader. You were easy to work with, unlike some other parties at times we dealt with. Television? And I hope you stay on course, because it will be good for the city environment, and it will produce a good number of jobs in the process. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, step over here. We do this one.
Thank you, Ms. Galanter. Members of the council, it's been pointed out to me by apparently the camera people that the curtains interfere with the lighting, so I'll just let you ponder that as I move on. I want to remind the council members that the next Tuesday meeting will be a night meeting at 7 o'clock, and we expect 10 members. Well, if it's 9 members, we won't have a quorum, but it's going to be at the Los Angeles Center for Enriched Studies, 5931 West 18th Street, West Los Angeles. And just want to remind you, we do have a quorum right now, but yes, we have a quorum for that meeting, if everybody shows up. There's Mr. Alatorre's gone, and Mr.
Councilmember Galanter's excused.
Mr. Glanter, Ms.
Councilmember
Goldberg.
Councilmember Ridley Thomas, and Councilmember Wax. Those are the only 5 that are excused.
No, Mr. Wax is a Valley member. Mr. Wax is a Valley member. But anyway, why don't we take care of the agenda now? What do you say we do that? Mr. Holden?
You think we ought to continue to have these
Well, how many have you made?
All of them.
Have you made them all?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We do notice, we send notices as soon as we, okay, the next item on the agenda.
Items 1 and 2, Mr. President, are required public hearings.
All right, is there any, we have no cards. Is there anybody in the chamber who wants to be heard on item 1 and 2? Okay, the public hearing is closed. Mr. Hernandez?
Yeah, Mr. President, on item 2, I wanted to make a motion to deny the application.
Okay, we have, we need a motion to confirm the assessment on number 1, and that would be Mrs. Chick. And Mr. Hernandez has asked that we deny the application of number 2.
Right.
Any discussion? If not, prepare the roll. Tabulate the vote. Those are approved. Next item.
Items 3 through 6 and 15 and 16 are items for which public hearings have been held.
All right, we have a request to continue item 6 until the 24th of April. And we have a request from Councilman Fuhrer to continue 7 until May 19th. Is there any objections to those? 3 through 6 and 15 and 16.
15 and 16. Do we want to?
John, if we could have 3 special, please.
Well, and also we have a request to continue 16 until the 22nd of,
Is that Wednesday? Yes. Thank you.
okay. Is there any objections to continue those 3?
No, continue item 3?
We're
No,
not-
3 special.
Can you hold item 15? Is it 15?
15 we'll call special. Okay, we've continued 6, 7, and 16. And we have left
3, 4,
3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5. Prepare the roll. Tabulate the
President,
vote.
call 3 special.
3 is called special. So we have 4, 5, period. Tabulate the vote. Those are approved. Next item.
Items 7 through 14 and 17 are items for which public hearings have not been held.
Is there, we have no cards. Is anybody in the chamber wants to be heard in any of those items? 7 through 14 and 17?
The 17 special for Hernandez.
Anybody want to be heard on those items? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Any specials?
17.
Any other specials? If not, we got 17. All right, prepare the roll on 7 through 14. Tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Those are approved. Next item.
Item 3, called special.
Mr. Fuhr, you called 3 special. Will you press your button? Okay.
Special simply to highlight the fact that today is an historic day, because today, by enacting item 3, we will elevate the Human Relations Commission to the status of an independent department here in the city. I think all of us recognize how significant it is to identify ways to bring our city together rather than the ways that are too frequently found to divide us from each other. The Human Relations Commission deserves the status of an independent department, and I urge a unanimous vote.
Okay, that was well done. So prepare the roll on item 3. Tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
That is approved, and we'll send that forthwith. The next item,
Item 15, called special.
Mr. Fury, I think you call 15 special. Mr. Alarcon, you call 15? To when? Okay, a request to continue. No, but Tuesday's that night meeting. Tuesday's the night meeting. Okay, item 15 will be continued until next Wednesday. No objections, that'll be the order. Next item,
17, called special.
Mr. Hernandez.
Mr. President, members of the council, I think there's someone here from the police department. Yep, Mr. President, members of the council, this item, it's a simple request that we transfer or sell 4 vehicles to the Inglewood School District for purposes of their police enforcement, and the reality is that this is supposed to be scrapped vehicles. The reason I called it special is I've had requests in my district from volunteer groups working with the police department, from police stations, who were looking for vehicles for a variety of types of projects. And staff did call me to give me information. And when I was hearing the information, I thought that the rest of you should hear the information. And so I thought I'd have them come before and explain to you what happens. If you remember, I introduced a motion back in 1993 to try and get new vehicles for the police department because they were driving them with like 170,000 miles. Here, this motion is calling for 3 vehicles that were basically 1994s. Could you share with me how many miles are on those vehicles?
My name is Nate Thibodeau, and I'm the fleet manager for the police department. There are, all vehicles have over 100,000 miles on them. Some are approaching 110,000 miles. A couple are.
Okay. Now, why is it that we're getting rid of 94s?
Our replacement cycle, we target 90,000 miles as the point where we want to remove these out of service and replace them. And of course, that's all dependent upon funding and availability of replacement vehicles.
Okay, and you mentioned to me that the CAO basically only allows you to maintain 100 vehicles that were not...
That was actually our discussion about retaining unfunded vehicles, vehicles that we've already replaced, and we've scheduled those to be salvaged. And yes, we have about 108 of those in our fleet, and those vehicles are not funded. They're absorbed by our operating funds.
Now, is your fleet different from the rest of the city's fleet?
Certainly, it is. We operate a high-speed pursuit fleet. I'm not sure if I fully understand.
When I do that, have other departments inquired as to whether they could use these vehicles?
Certainly, we've given vehicles to other city departments.
But these particular ones?
No, not these particular ones.
Now, the reason I'm asking the question is because the police department does have a high-maintenance program.
I mean, new tires, the engines are kept up, everything's done. And this is not the days when a car could be guaranteed for 60,000 miles. We're talking about a different guarantees and so forth. I wanted to bring it to the council's attention because what might be something we have policies established to send out to scrap, it could be something that's a gold mine for another department. And I'm looking at other departments as something we should be looking at. But I also wanted to bring to the attention that I don't think it's the police department who necessarily is doing this, but maybe the CAO and the CLA could look at some of our policies as regard to some of these equipment. I know that when we're inquiring about additional vehicles for purposes of volunteer groups and so forth, we're being told there's no vehicles. I know that the police department has programs in some instances where they don't need a vehicle that moves. They need a vehicle they could put a video camera on to create an image that they have a police image there. And so I want to bring it up, and I'd like to kind of mention it because I think we might be disposing of our vehicles a little bit early because of our policies, and it's something that has to be reviewed.
All right, Mrs. Chick.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, have you asked for a report to come forward on this, or what was the action that you've just taken, Mr. Hernandez?
Well, the motion is calling for us to sell these as scrap, and I don't have a problem with that motion. I wanted to bring it to the rest of the council's attention, and I'd like to bring a motion in with hopefully the chair of the public safety to kind of review that fleet and how it is that these decisions are being made.
Okay, then I think my questions will wait until we bring a more substantive report forward, because I also don't have any problem with what's before us today. But I think some important issues have been raised. Thank you.
This kind of caught my attention also, and I was just curious why we would be selling this equipment below cost, because the words below cost got me. And just because we have a neighboring city that's interested in picking them up, why would we do it below cost? Why wouldn't we get whatever the market value of these vehicles was? Or did you hear what I asked?
No, I'm sorry, I did not.
Why are we selling these below market rate? Why aren't we getting market rate for them?
We do. They're not being sold as scrap.
Well, what is below the motion on the floor says below market rate?
I think they're being donated for $1, if I understand correctly.
Well, that's slightly below
Yes,
market rate, isn't it?
absolutely. But I think in this...
I'm asking you, why are we doing this?
That's not my decision.
It's
sir.
not your decision?
No.
Whose decision is this? I mean, they have some value. Here we are, a city that's going to have a big deficit in our budget next year. We have a police department that needs more dollars. Why are we giving equipment away for $1 to a neighboring city?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Well,
in fact, I'm going
Mr.
to...
Fuhr, do you know why it's your motion?
I'm going to move, Mr. President, that we delay this item. I'd like a little further description of why we're doing this. And I'd also like to have the department and the CAO come back with some program that will get us the maximum salvageable dollars from these vehicles instead of giving them away for $1.
Councilman, Commander Moore here. Let me respond that there has been a request for these, I think it's 2 vehicles,
Actually, it's
4 vehicles by Inglewood. However, in our standard program, and Mr. Thibodeau will tell you that we consistently sell these vehicles from somewhere in the neighborhood of $4,000 to $6,000 apiece. So that is our program, that we do sell these, that we sell these vehicles.
But what are we doing? Why are we giving these away then for $1?
Well, once again, it was a request that has been presented to the city, and I think I'll have to let Mr. Fuhr speak from...
Okay, I'm going to change my motion. I'm going to move that we do not sell these vehicles for $1. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Holden has the floor. If you want to be heard, you have to push your button.
I thought I did.
Mr. Holden?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Bernstein, you could be right on this, except for the fact that we give them to foreign governments for $1. You know, you got a next door neighboring city, and the service they provide in terms of protection is right here at home. Mr. Bernstein? Well, but you do give them to foreign governments, and they make no question about it. You never raised the question about whether or not you go here in this foreign country and here in that foreign country, and the taxpayers pay for it here. At least you're keeping it at home.
Before, Mr. Holden.
I know, but you always end up voting aye. I mean, you raised the question, but the fact of the matter is that the
You don't
police...
know if you're representing Inglewood or Los
I'm not
Angeles on some of your
representing, not
discussions
only on
in the past.
basketball that I represent
In-
Inglewood,
in-
Mr.
in the
President.
past, Mr.
Just on the
Holman.
basketball team.
Well, this is, now you're defending them here.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
He said he's saying nothing. Okay, well, let me say something. And what I want to say is that at least as a neighboring city, if they usually pay for it, the chief, commander, then fine, we can charge them. The amount is, if it's $1 or $4,000, I don't know. But if they're willing to pay $4,000, we'll take the $4,000. But if it's a matter of policy, you let them go for $1, well, I see nothing wrong with it, since they're going to provide service for us also. It's kind of overlapping responsibilities or duties, because you give them to foreign governments for $1, you know, and leaves the vehicle leaves the country.
Mr. Fuhr.
Thank you, Mr. President. I introduced this motion at the request of Chief Banks in Inglewood. The purpose of this, from the city's standpoint, would be to assure some additional safety in a city which immediately adjoins the city of Los Angeles. As we know, crime doesn't just stop at a given border. It goes back and forth. I'm told that the value of each of these vehicles is about $1,500 per vehicle. I also understand, although I have not spoken directly myself with the recipient agency, which is the Inglewood School Police, that $1,500 per vehicle might make it impossible, because of their tight fiscal situation, to obtain them. Question from our perspective, I think, is, do we get at least $6,000 in the aggregate worth of additional public safety by virtue of having a neighboring jurisdiction have vehicles that otherwise would not have? I think we probably do, but it's also true that if the council wishes to do otherwise, we can make that choice. This is more, one could say this is a courtesy request that I brought in, but it's also somewhat more than that, to the extent that that jurisdiction does have an impact on the safety of our citizens in the city of Los Angeles on our southern border.
Mr. Hernandez.
Mr. Council, I just want to rise. My intentions was not to stop the direction of this motion. It was to bring to everybody's attention some policy issues that I think we have to look at. And I will be bringing in the motion and hopefully presenting for Mrs. Chick's second, so that we could look at this issue a little bit closer. And so I would just urge us to allow this process to continue, and I would be supporting this motion that's presented before us at this time.
Mr. Ridley Thomas, did you want to be heard?
Mr. President, members of the council, I think Mr. Burnson is now prepared to vote in the appropriate fashion here. It's been made clear to him that a contiguous border with some of the districts of his colleagues might be in the best interest of the city as a whole. I appreciate Mr. Fuhr's candor and openness about how this came to be, and his ex post facto justification for the rationale as well. So we appreciate that, Mr. Fuhr. And Mr. Burnson is compelled by your argument, and I would urge all of us to vote aye in the interests of the districts who share that border with the great city of Inglewood. Thank you so much.
Mr. Wax.
Mr. President, I think there's somewhat of a middle ground here. It is true, it has been our long-standing practice, and we have guidelines for giving vehicles that are considered surplus, because we no longer have use for them here, to other agencies, nonprofits, governments, et cetera, for $1. The issue, I think, here, though, is how you define something as surplus. The fact that it has 100,000 miles may make it of no value to the police department, but it may have, 1994 automobiles may have value to other city departments. And I think that before we declare something surplus to be given for $1, we should make sure that it not only has no value to the using department, but that we first give an opportunity to other city departments which may use it. In other words, a police officer may not want 100,000 miles, but I've got almost that much on my car. Other people do, and it may be of use to other people in the city. Then we would get to where it wouldn't be surplus unless no one in the city really had use for it. Then it would perhaps be appropriate to give it to another governmental agency or a charity. So I think that the real issue here is in how we define surplus, and that we not put something out for a gift, in essence, in this way, until not only the using department declares they no longer have a use for it, but we give all other city departments an opportunity to determine whether they might have use for it. So I would move that perhaps before we do this, we simply put a memo to the other city departments to see if they have need for that for city business. If they do, then we shouldn't put it out. If they don't, I think Englewood is a very good place to give it to.
Mr. Ridley Thomas, did you want to be heard again? All right, what do we have? Mr. Wax's motion?
Was there a second? I didn't hear a second to Mr. Wax's motion.
Mr. Burns, did you second Mr. Wax's motion?
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Okay, we have Mr. Wax's motion to...
That a memo be sent out to the other city departments
all right,
to determine if they are in need of these surplus
Mr.
city
President,
vehicles.
Can I determine, is there a deadline within which that memorandum circulation would come to conclusion so we can get an answer to our neighbors?
No.
In a week?
30 days.
How long?
2 weeks.
Just a couple weeks.
Okay, prepare the roll.
Is this on the amendment?
On Mr. Wax's motion. Tabulate the vote. Tabulate the vote.
5 ayes, 6 noes.
Okay, that failed.
Now you have Councilman Fuhr's motion as it appears on the agenda.
Okay, prepare the roll on Mr. Fuhr's motion. Tabulate the vote.
7 ayes, 4 noes.
That failed.
That'll be placed on next Tuesday evening's agenda pursuant to Council Rule 53, unless you reconsider.
Point of order, Mr. President. Point of order. Point of order. Mr. Alacon is moving for reconsideration, and Mr. Wax and Mr. Burnson wish to do the right thing. No, you're yes, Ms. Goldberg.
That's 4. I gave you 4.
No, I won't.
You said no. You were the prevailing side.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we sell them, absolutely.
Mr. Wax, Mr. Ferraro, Mr.
Prevailing
Alacon,
side.
Mr. Burnson, do the right thing.
The no is a prevailing side. Mr. Holden knows that. Yeah.
So that's why he can prevail.
Yeah, but
the
he's not
motion
on prevailing
failed
side.
because of your vote, so you're on the prevailing side. So you can move reconsideration, yes? Oh, well, thank you then. We just called.
Okay, that is in order, so is there any objection to reconsideration? Prepare the roll on reconsideration. Prepare the roll on reconsideration. Tabulate the vote.
9 ayes, 2 noes.
On the motion. That's passed.
Mr. Burnson, you making up rules? You sound like some other colleague of mine. All right, we have the matter before us again. We have Mr. Fuhr's motion before us.
Yes,
The giveaway artist.
In the interest of Ms. Galanter
prepare
and
the roll.
Mr. Ridley Thomas, we appeal to you for an aye vote.
No, it isn't.
Announce the vote, Mr. President.
Mr. Burnson is still trying to make rules. Mr. Burnson,
Mr. Burnson, in the interest of the
there was
6th
nobody
and 8th
remove
districts, an aye
reconsideration
vote.
of Mr. Wax's motion. It was Mr. Fuhr's motion that was reconsidered, and that is before us, so prepare the roll.
I vote.
Tabulate the vote.
8 ayes, 3 noes.
May the Lord bless you.
Okay, that passed overwhelmingly.
God bless the democratic process.
Next item.
This is a time for comments from the public and non-agenda items.
Okay, we have Richard Robinson.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Give that 10 minutes.
members of council, a group of homophobic, sexist chauvinists are orchestrating an inquisition here in America's capital of the 21st century. like some score from a scene from the Scopes trial. Mr. Ferraro, closing a bar in Hollywood, panders to negativity and signals political ambulance chasers. Excuse me. God created the Big Bang, and he also created Jackie and Joel. Their uniqueness, Joel and Jackie's sensitivities, are gifts valuable not only to you here, but also to the larger society. Their intelligence, public speaking isn't my forte. Please bear with me while I attempt to give structure to a relatively disorganized mind. Their intelligence focuses your perspective upon the realities of this day. Focus your perspective. Don't return to Tennessee of the 30s or Spain of the 15th century. Remember, there are those here who don't retrograde. Remember, those who don't learn from the lessons of the past, the errors of the past, the homophobic BS of the past, are doomed to repeat those errors. Thank you.
Candido Mars.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's been a few weeks since I've been here, but I'm back. I want to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Richard Reardon for standing up and supporting Proposition 227. There's one thing that I've never doubted is that he really believes that all children should be educated and that they should be ready for the 21st century. And I know that as I'm saying this, there are people out there that are going to call me a vendido. And for those of you that don't speak Spanish, a vendido is someone that is a sellout. Well, let me tell you, I'm not a sellout. I'm a believer. I believe that Hispanic children can compete and they can succeed without bilingual educations. And it's not anti-heritage. It's not anti-language. If you want to learn about your heritage and language, your parents should teach you about that. Your grandparents should teach you about that. Family members should teach you about that. One of the biggest tragedies that you can see is go to a California Youth Authority to sit there and look around and see that 80% of those kids in there are Hispanic. And you listen and you hear these kids that are very talented, and you ask them, and most of them have been in bilingual programs, and they can barely speak or write. And here they sit. What a waste. You know, there's a song, I don't know who wrote it or who sings it, but it goes, I believe I can fly, I believe I can touch the sky. That's all I want for Hispanic children, for minority children, for all of Latino children, for all of LA children, a chance to succeed and a chance to believe. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the cards we have, so the public hearing, public comment period is closed. Next item.
Motions for posting and referral.
There's no objections, unanimous vote. Next item.
Councilmember Galanter has requested to be excused at your evening meeting on Tuesday. A motion is required. That'll leave 10.
Mr. Burnson moves, unanimous vote. You know, you're going to be lucky to have a quorum, Nate. Yeah.
It'll be over $100,000 a year. They got to earn it. I mean, they got to go to work for themselves.
You're out
and
of
their own
order,
constituents.
as usual. The next item.
The desk is clear, Mr. President.
We have some adjourning motions. Would everyone please stand? Again, let me remind you that there is a meeting in Mr. Holden's district Tuesday night. There will be no meeting Tuesday day. I'd ask that we adjourn in memory of Kevin Petty, who passed away. He was a businessman in the 4th District for more than 40 years. He leaves his wife, Phyllis, and I'd ask we adjourn in his memory. Mr. Burnson.
Memory of Dr. Gerald Green, who was the Chief of Staff for Encino Tarzana Hospital and known philanthropist. He's survived by his wife, Andrea, his daughter, Abby, and sons, John and James.
Ms. Goldberg?
Yes, I'd like to ask that we adjourn in memory of Irving Davidson, who was 70 years old when he passed away. He lived in Los Angeles area for 30 years, was a hospital administrator for the VA for several decades. When he retired, he was the director of medical director, district rather, 26 for VA hospitals throughout Southern California. He is survived by his wife Florence Davidson, his son Peter Davidson, and his wife Adele Davidson, his other son John Davidson, who some of you may know, and his partner Dr. Aaron Arano, grandsons Benjamin Davidson, Matthew Davidson, and his sister Ruth Gatzik.
Mr. Holden, Mr. Hernandez?
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the council, I'd asked us to adjourn today, and I think Councilmember Goldberg would like to second this with me in the name of Mary Aguayo. She passed away on April 11th. She was 84 years old. She was one of the founding teachers of the Calexico Adventist Mission School. Her husband, Philip, she leaves, as well as her 4 daughters, Martha, Lisa, Lydia, and Adelina Ruth, and Raquel Maria. Now, Adelina Ruth, we know as Nina Sorkin, and her husband, Alan Sorkin. They did do a lot of work with Comisión Femenil, and as well as a lot of issues dealing with violence at homes.
Mrs. Walters?
I'd also like to be a seconder on that one for Nina Sorkin's mother. Council members, I would ask you to adjourn today in memory of Madeline Rose Allen. She was the daughter of Judith Wilson, the director of our Bureau of Sanitation. She is survived by 2 daughters, Kathy and Judy, and 3 grandchildren.
All members on that. Call the roll.
Yeah, that's what I got. Right.
Aye, the council is adjourned.